Hey everyone, welcome. Day 23 of our 31-day yoga challenge, Yoga for Everybody. I'm Heather and I'm the Bent Yogi, and today, a gentle and restorative practice. We're getting into the home stretch here. Don't rush it. Slow down. Let's enjoy all of this. Put on some comfy clothes, grab a couple blocks, a blanket, whatever you need, so you can really get comfortable for this practice today. Coming onto your mat and coming into your child's pose. You can have your knees wide with your hands forward, or you can work with your knees together and your arms and hands alongside. Feel that you are working with your body and working with your breath. Take a big breath in and a long breath out. A big inhale and a long exhale. Letting your shoulders soften. You might be able to soften your face, your jaw. And if you can't soften just yet, that's okay. You can start by simply noticing where you feel tension and inviting your breath to move into that place or those places. And it might be physical places, but it might be more energetic. Your mind, your heart. And take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. Here, walk your hands over to your right, either a little to your right or a lot. If you want to pick your head up and move your head and then place it back down, you can. Your hands can be on or off your mat. I like to take my hands off my mat. And your hips might come up off your heels, or they might stay down. So really, no wrong here. And that might be part of what you soften. The idea that you have to do it a certain way. Instead, just feel your breath, feel your body, and give yourself some room. Take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. And walk your hands back through center and over to the other side. I like to feel the transition as I walk my hands from the right to the left. It's easy to overlook the transitions or rush through them, whether we're on or off our mat. So I might slow that down a little bit. And all of this in this restorative practice, all of this slowing down, that can be the most challenging piece of the practice, the slowing down. Keep tuning into your breath, especially if you notice the thoughts in your head pick up. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. Walk your hands back through center and come on up to your tabletop, your hands and knees. Hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips, a couple of cat-cows. As you inhale, lift your gaze, your chest, your tailbone. And as you exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin into your chest. You can add an additional movement. Just a couple of these here. Moving with your breath. Feeling the movement of your breath and the movement in your body. And then come on back to a neutral spine. You can walk your hands a little more forward. Shift your shoulders forward and lower all the way down to the ground. Setting up here for a couple of cobras. You can walk your hands a little bit forward so your fingertips are right under your shoulders. Squeeze your elbows in. Feet together, tops of your feet, your toenails on your mat. Squeeze your elbows in, and as you inhale, begin to lift up, drawing your chest forward, letting your shoulders roll back. Feel as though you could pull your hands back, but they're not going to move. Take a really big breath in here. As you exhale, slowly lower down. Now you can bring one cheek to your mat. Let your arms and hands come to rest alongside you, your palms up, fingertips towards your toes, so your shoulders soften. Take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. And bring your hands back under your shoulders. So set back up for that cobra. Squeeze your elbows in, roll your shoulders back, draw your chest forward, lead with your heart. And you don't have to lift really high here, but feel more for lengthening. And again, leading with your heart. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, lower back down. You can keep your gaze down, or you can turn your head to the other side, so opposite cheek on the mat. And again, let your arms and hands come alongside you, palms up, shoulders soften. Take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. And bring your hands back under your shoulders. Come back up to your tabletop and start to sit back for your child's pose. But if you have a couple blocks, add in blocks. Blocks on your mat, and then your elbows on your blocks. It might take a little adjusting. If you don't have blocks, that's okay. You can still work with your elbows just on your mat. And then let your chest drop through your arms. Your hips can be high or more towards your heels. You can just kind of feel it out. Again, no wrong. Everything that you are doing here, let it be right for your body and your being. And take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. A big inhale. And a big exhale. Once more, a deep breath in. And a long breath out. And from here, simply make your way back up to your tabletop. Move your blocks to the side. And let's thread the needle. Coming back to tabletop, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Right arm comes out to the right, even up towards the sky, and your gaze can follow. Take a big breath in and thread the needle. Take your right hand over to the left, come onto your right shoulder. You can have your head on your mat or on a block, and your hips can be higher towards your heels. And here, I'm going to take my left arm and wrap it around behind my back, so a little more of a chest opener, heart opener. That's a little bit of the focus today. Opening up. Opening our hearts, opening our minds, allowing some softness. And you might have your own intention for practice today. Absolutely. I'd add that in, allow that. Take a big breath in. And a long breath out. And come on back to your tabletop, your hands and knees. Just a moment to pause and reset. And then set it up on the other side. Left arm goes high. Gaze can follow a big inhale. And thread the needle on this side. Coming onto your left shoulder, letting that left hand go to the right. Pause for a moment, feel where you are. And then if it works, take your right arm around behind your back. You might notice more room on one side than the other. That's okay, just notice that. Notice anywhere that you have space. And feel that you are in this space. Take a big breath in. And a long breath out. Come on back to your tabletop, your hands and knees. Here, cross your ankles. Sit back over your heels. Come down onto your back. And let's set up a half pigeon variation, sleeping pigeon. So your left foot flat on your mat, your right foot comes across your left leg. You can set up traditional half pigeon if you prefer. And you can stay here, or you can lift that left leg and draw it in with your hands. Flex your right foot. A couple of good deep breaths here. Big breath in. And a long breath out. Even as you draw your left leg in, You can let your right knee come away from you a little bit, and you can soften your fingers. Notice if you are really pulling your legs in really hard. You're really pushing to make something happen. That something is you being right here, right now. It is happening. Take a breath in and a breath out. Release your hands. Simply slide your right knee over your left so you have your eagle legs. Take your arms out to the sides about shoulder height like wings, and drop your knees over to your left for your twist. So if this variation, this leg variation doesn't work, then you can stack your knees, you can work with a different variation. If it works for your neck and your shoulders, you can turn your gaze to the right. Take a full breath in. And a long breath out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Once more here, full inhale. And a big exhale. And then bring your legs back through center. Unwrap, give your knees a squeeze. And set it up on the other side. Your right foot flat, your left foot across your right leg. Your right foot can stay on your mat. You might put a block under your right foot if you like. If you just want a little bit of lift. Or you can lift that leg and use your hands to draw in. Flex your left foot. You can wiggle your toes. Sometimes I like to do that just to loosen up a little bit. Right? Feel your feet. Give your toes some attention. I don't think we do that enough. Giving your whole breath and your whole being your attention right here, right now. And take a long inhale. And a long exhale. And you might work with traditional drishti here, gaze set. I like to close my eyes. Actually helps me focus in a little more. Take a big breath in. And a long breath out. Breathe in. And breathe out. My stomach's making noise. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Take a big inhale. And a long exhale. Softening your shoulders, your face. You can even soften your fingers a little bit here. And release your hands. Slide your left knee over your right. So eagle legs, more or less. Arms out to the sides like wings. And your knees drop to your right. And then your gaze can go to the left. Again, just make sure it works for your neck, your shoulders. Feeling for releasing tension and stress, rather than unintentionally creating more. We do that a lot when we're pushing to make something happen. So here again, softening into where you are and what you're doing. Softening into who you are. Enjoying all of this. And bring your legs back to center, unwrap, give your knees a squeeze. Here, gently rock up to seated, and we will set up a supported fish. So if you have a block is great between your shoulder blades. If you want to roll up a blanket or a towel, you can use that. And you want the block, you can even use 2 blocks. You want the block right between your shoulder blades. I like the medium height because the block is skinnier, or the tallest height. And then if you can drop your head back, go ahead and drop your head back. If it doesn't work to drop your head back unsupported, that's where the second block can come in handy. You can put that under your head. And it takes sometimes takes a little finagling to get it just right so you find that sweet spot. Let your arms and hands come alongside. You can feel for letting your shoulder blades melt over the block. All right, that might take a moment or two, so be patient with this. And if this just plain doesn't work, then come onto your back and simply bring your attention to your heart space. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and up into your heart. And as you breathe out, allowing the tension to soften and release. This is one of my favorite poses. It helps me release some of the tension in my shoulders. It helps me open my heart, bring attention to opening and softening my heart. Take a big breath in. And a long breath out. And then use your hands, your arms, so you can lift up just enough. Take your time with this. If your head was dropped back, you can come to seated slowly. Spine upright. And then gently come all the way down onto your back to set up for Shavasana. If you want to stay in that supported fish, you can. You can take your legs up or out, maybe add in blocks under your knees for a little more support. I think I'm going to do that. And take a really big, deep, full breath in. And empty out. Wiggle your fingers and toes. You can roll your head gently side to side. Just bring some gentle movement back to your body. And draw your knees to your chest. Roll to one side and make your way to seated. Bring your hands to your heart. Together, let's take a big breath in and a long breath out. Drawing your thumbs to your forehead, to your third eye center. Together we say, Namaste. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining me for practice today. Thanks for joining me for this whole challenge. I hope that you're feeling restored, not just from this practice, but from this whole challenge. I hope you're feeling restored and renewed and energized. And again, thanks for joining me. Thank yourself for doing this. Keep taking care of yourself. Take care of others. And I'll see you on your mat tomorrow.